Okay, so what's your name?
Samantha.
Last name?
Dodge.
And how old are you?
16.
Okay, the first question I have for you today is if what are you most confident about in yourself? It can be beauty, physical, or it can be, internally.
I am most confident about actually how I'm able to give my opinion about stuff. Like, people can ask me, and like, people don't really influence how I think about it. That's who I am, and I'm able to say it.
Right. Okay, the second question I have is what are you most insecure about and would you ever change it?
I am probably most insecure about my body because you always have those people out there who are telling you how you're supposed to look. And it kind of like, and especially when people say it hurts. But I wouldn't change it because it's who I am and this is what I was given. And this is like, it's a part of me.
Okay, last question I have for you since we have a minute and six left. Um, what truly would you say to girls out there who are 16 years old and they are struggling with any confidence?
I would say just be yourself because if you're able to be yourself and people understand that that's who they are and they're able to accept and respect you as a person, you're going to be able to pull off anything as long as you respect yourself.
Alright, thank you so much.
What's your name?
I'm Jada Evans,
How old are you?
and I'm 16.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you 3 questions, and would like for you to give us your honest opinion. Okay, so for the first question, what is your name?
Jada Evans,
How old are you?
16.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you a question. I want you to give your honest opinion. Okay, so there are so many things out in the world that affect people, how they see themselves and how they see others. And it kind of just brings negativity upon everyone. What are like some words to like inspire or to like help people understand that that's like not okay?
I'd say cut off the resources of who you think is just, you think so highly of, stop focusing, on all these people who, I guess, look up to, and be the person that you look up to. Look up to yourself, and that's how you'll raise that confidence level, and that's how you'll do your own things. But if you're steadily thinking, oh, like I look up to Kylie Jenner, so I'm gonna try to be like Kylie Jenner. I'm gonna wear these because Kylie Jenner wears this. I'm gonna talk like this because Kylie Jenner talks like this. Be your own person and follow down your own path, and that's how you do it.
What's your name?
Thank you.
Rebecca,
And what's your age?
16.
I have one personal question I have to ask for you, and it's kind of like a context question. You might have to answer it in parts. But I want you to give me your honest answer on what you think true beauty is and how that applies to you and how you use true beauty to embrace yourself, if that makes any sense. If you need me to clarify that, I can do it.
Okay, I'm just gonna go off. Well, I think true beauty is probably having a good head on your shoulders. It doesn't matter if you're rich, doesn't matter if you're poor, boy, girl, gay, straight, bisexual. Having a good head on your shoulders is probably one of the most attractive things that I find in people because they're gonna make good decisions and they're less likely, I would hope, they make good decisions to be loyal, trustworthy, faithful, like all those kinds of things. Like having a good head on your shoulders, you just make better decisions and you're probably less likely to worry about more materialistic things unless the materialistic things, like unless you need some materialistic things, obviously like food, water, shelter. Yeah, I guess that's what I think would be true beauty.
And what are things that you think that you worry about and you think that are the end of the world now that won't matter later?
This is gonna sound really, really bad, but getting a B on the test. I'm a straight A student. If I get a B on a test, it's like I retake the test. I'm not even kidding. Like I'll retake the test. And but that's also because I want to be a doctor. So like I need to get those A's. And also because I get a lot of my confidence. That's probably another bad thing is to get your confidence from the grades that I get. But yeah, that's just one thing that's like
Okay.
really important to me.
All right. So what's your name
CJ,
and how old are you?
16.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions, and I just want your most honest opinion about it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So first, what are you most insecure about,
My acting.
and why?
Because, like, it just, I don't know. I can fix it, but, like, to fix it, you have to, like, have money to fix it, because, like, acting cream and, like, moisturizer cost mostly a lot to, like, get the good stuff, but, like, not really. And yeah.
Second question I have for you would be, if there's one thing you could change about yourself at all, what would you change,
My weight.
and why?
Because, like, I guess it's a number, but, like, you can also change that, but, you know, work. And I don't really want to at all.
Is it something that you struggle with your whole life, or is it just something like you're just insecure because of what?
I don't know, I just don't like it.
Would you possibly change it, or is it just something that you're just gonna like think you're eventually gonna get over? Or is it something that's gonna probably follow you out through life?
I'll probably get over it.
Now, my last question for you is, if you had something to say, like thinking like 30-year-old yourself, what would you think your future self would say to you now? Like all the things that you think are so big now, like your acne and your weight, what do you think your future self would say to you now?
I have no idea.
Would you think, do you think in the future you, like, what do you see yourself in the future as? Like, where do you think you're gonna go?
I have no idea still.
Like, do you have, like, any interest, or is it, like, is there something you really truly want to succeed in before you die, or?
I mean, I don't know, probably go to California and, like, travel with my friends.
Like, just live life?
Pretty much.
Like, rad dude?
Pretty rad. Sir.
Alright, so what's your name?
Hayden Nelson.
And how old are you?
I'm 16 years old.
Alright, and I'm going to ask you one quick question. I just want you to answer as truthfully or honest as you can. Alright, what do you think your future self would say to you right now being 16?
I think my future self would like say just like don't worry about the things that are happening right now in your life because you're going to move past them, and the older you become, the wiser you become because you've had more experiences. And I just think it really like it's gonna like once you get older, it's gonna like help your like self to like know the like things that you've done in the past that you should never repeat, or things that you should repeat that you really like to do. But I also think that you need to like just worry about yourself because like many people like to worry about like all their friends and what they're doing. Just like mainly just worry like about yourself, but like also like worry about other people. Like and mainly like you have to like worry about yourself before you worry about anyone else, obviously. But I just think that people just need to get on with their lives and do what they want to do because that's like the main reason that we're here. So
Alright, so what's your name?
Zariah,
And how old are you?
16.
Alright, and my question for you, I just want you to answer completely truthfully and honestly. How do you think feminism impacts your life?
Wow, good question. I think that,
And why do you think it's important, actually? Too?
yeah, I think that it's important because, it empowers you to, no matter what your gender is or anything along those lines, like you can still be yourself and you can be anything you want to be, and that just because, you have, I don't know, just because you're certain about something doesn't mean that, like, I don't know, I'm just at a total loss for words. It's just so important that it's like, it just is the entirety of my life, It's not like, oh, well, it's this and this and this reason. It's just like, it is the reason, like, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Alright, so what's your name?
Cassidy,
And how old are you?
15.
And my question for you is, if you had to look back on all the things that you're insecure about now, what would your future self say?
I'm guessing my future self would say like there's nothing to worry about, because like people change over time, and you just start to like stop caring about stupid things that you cared about back in high school or back in time, whenever. And I think most of my insecurities come from like more of like peer evaluation and like social situations, and I feel like I can just grow with myself and like be more open to whatever.
All right, so what's your name?
Molly.
How old are you?
15.
And my question for you is, what do you think the most beautifulest thing about yourself is and why?
I would think probably my mind and the way I write, because I feel like there's no other way I can express myself better than through my writing. And so I feel like you get to see the better side of me through the words that I can write and say. So I'd say my mind is probably the most beautiful part of me because it displays more than my looks ever could. So, yeah.
Thank you.
When a fire starts to burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't wanna do nothing with it.